They can Tailwind here, but I don't think they have, unless it could be Taunt Fletchling, but then it will be slower than these guys, right? It doesn't get priority on Taunt. So I don't think they have anything to stop Gravity Dark Void here. Oh. Okay. Whoops. Forgot it can run that. VGC Legends time. This is the series where I spin a wheel, I get a random legendary or mythical Pokemon, I try it out after speed building a team on the Regulation J ladder, and we see how that goes. I do this for two reasons, of course. One is just that I really like legendary and mythical Pokemon, and I want to give each one a little bit of a spotlight, and the other is that by speed building a bunch of teams, some good, some bad, some in between, I have a fun little gaming adventure and maybe learn some things along the way. Last time with Deoxys, I felt like I actually did start to get a little bit of insight on what was going wrong in some of these videos, where I was identifying something that looked like a strong synergy in the team builder, but then getting scared off of actually bringing it to games. We saw that in the Shaman one as well. I think that's right, yeah. So it's something that I'm thinking about as we head into the next wheel spin, but for now, let's just see what we get today. Around to Generation 4? Oh, huh. Oh, look who it is. Alright, well, this was going to happen eventually. Let's see exactly how I want to approach Darkrai today. Alright, so my first question with Darkrai is, can it be shiny? I suspect so. Yes. Okay, cool. That'll be fun. Okay, Darkrai, fast. Not like Koraidon, Miraidon, Champao, Fluttermane fast, but still fairly fast. Decent special attack stat. Probably just want to use Nasty Plot and set up and go, right? No, I'm just kidding, of course. You want to run Dark Void, and maybe even Hypnosis to get past Wide Guard. Although I'm not actually seeing a ton of Wide Guard on the ladder. Definitely less than I expected. I think that something like Terra Ghost, Dark Void, Dark Pulse, and then maybe like Sludge Bomb? Taunt? I think we can run one attack on this, right? It gets Will-O-Wisp, I didn't even realize that. I think Hypnosis or Taunt or a coverage move, I'm not really sure, then Protect in the last slot. Probably with a Focus Sash. And Darkrai is here to just put things to sleep and make the game difficult for opponents to play, to be honest. Now, usually pair Gravity with a Darkrai with a Gravity setter. That's what we've seen frequently in this format. Arceus gets Gravity in its various forms. Deoxys gets Gravity. I can run Speed Deoxys if I want. Now speed everything in the game except for Regieleki. Most people, I think, are running either Sableye or Shadow Rider Calyrex. Sableye gets Prankster, so it has priority on its Gravity, and it can run other support options. We've seen a lot of Encore disable Sableye to the point where, at this point, if I see a Sableye, that's what I'm expecting it to have. Shadow Rider Calyrex, of course, is a more offensive option. Doesn't really have complementary coverage with Darkrai, but it hits hard and is still very fast. That's probably the direction I'm leaning, Calyrex instead of Sableye. That does, of course, take the other restricted Pokemon slot, so maybe I want a different restricted, besides my Gravity support mod. But yeah, these are the things I'm thinking about at this stage. We could run an Arceus form, but I think Gravity just sort of fits more naturally on Calyrex's moveset, or Sableye. Eternatus also gets Gravity, and Mewtwo. Probably don't want to run Mewtwo, though. Iron Crown and Iron Leaves both get Gravity. So does Farigiraf, so does Cresselia, of course. Landorus. Meowstick. But then why not run Sableye? Darkrai being fast, I probably don't want a Trick Room mode. Or, I might want a Trick Room mode, but I don't want to pair Darkrai with a Trick Room Pokemon. So that eliminates a lot of possible Gravity users. There's always Sandy Shocks, right? Photosynthesis boosted Sandy Shocks. That's what people ran to set Gravity for a Spathra. In like Regulation D, I think. So that a Spathra would land its Hypnosis while setting up a speed boost. I think Shadow Rider Calyrex is fine, though. That's the way I've been leaning this whole conversation. And I don't actually know how people build out the rest of the team around it. I think I like Tailwind on a Darkrai team, because Darkrai, right, one of its biggest weaknesses is being outsped. So if you have Tailwind support, then you patch that one up very nicely. So Tornadus or Whimsicott or Talonflame. Whimsicott. I like Whimsicott, I think. Whimsicott, I can run Moonblast on it. And has complementary coverage. Right? It helps both of these break through dark types. And then it also gets fake tears. So I can help the Calyrex snowball a couple of different ways here. Does Whimsicott learn Gravity? No. But yeah, I can help the Calyrex snowball a couple of ways here. With Whimsicott giving it speed, control, and lowering the opponent's special defense, or Darkrai putting things to sleep. Okay, I have my restricted duo, I have Whimsicott. I probably want some kind of physical offense. I think a fighting type would be good, maybe like a Rapid Strike or Shifu. In that case, I could reconsider the Tailwind setter, right? I could have Tornadus to set Tailwind for a Shifu if I want. Or I could run like Iron Hands, but obviously there's no room for Miraidon on the team at this point. Darkrai, Calyrex. They have issues with wide guard Pokemon, to an extent. Whimsicott patches up the speed control game, but... oh, I could run Farigiraf. I could do like Farigiraf, Iron Hands, right? Again, it's a little bit weird because I don't have electric terrain. Unless I want Iron Hands to set its own terrain, but probably not. But I like Iron Hands for being a slow fighting type, right? I can have a Trick Room mode. And then Farigiraf also shuts down priority into these two, which I think could be valuable. Alternatively, I could run like Indeedee and something. Indeedee and... I don't know. This is probably okay. It is starting to look like a Miraidon team without Miraidon, though. That's a little bit odd, I think. But I could even maybe slap in Urshifu in the last slot, and then... This might not be the final 6, but so if I look... in fact, it's probably not. I don't think this really works. But in theory, I have a fast mode. Right, Whimsicott sets Tailwind. Calyrex tries to attack, or Urshifu helps it overcome its bad matchups. Darkrai creates openings for everybody. I think I'm mostly not sold on the Iron Hands. I do think I like Farigiraf here. I think Farigiraf is really good with Darkrai and Shadow Rider. What about like Raging Bolt? What about like Calm Mind Raging Bolt? It's bulky, it can play in a slower game plan. Darkrai can create openings for it to set up. It has priority, so it has fast offense that way, but also it's just a hard Pokemon to one-shot. It benefits from Whimsicott. What about, like, Calm Mind Raging Bolt? Or, I don't know, Calm Mind something. Quiver Dance Volcarona, even. I'm not that afraid of Zamazenta with this team, I don't think, even though I have Darkrai. Quiver Dance Volcarona could be cool. Get out of restricted Pokemon. Let's do my quick Reg J check. How do I beat opposing Darkrai? Probably with Tailwind and Urshifu. How do I beat Magearna? Terra Ghost in front of Annihilate, Gravity, Dark Void. It's a little bit luck-based. I don't actually know... Well, I'll find out in-game, I guess, what the accuracy is on Gravity, or on Dark Void and Gravity. I know it's not 100, because opponents have missed them against me. What else is a relevant mythical Pokemon? How do I beat Swords Dance Arceus? This shuts down Extreme Speed. And then I just try to do a lot of damage to it, I suppose. Okay, I don't know if Calm Mind Raging Bolt is the right choice here, but I'm down to try it, I think. It's a strong Pokemon. We'll see how it goes. So, alright. Let's fill in the rest of these, and then I'll figure out Darkrai's set. So, oh, if I have the Focus Sash on Darkrai, I can't have it on Calyrex. Honestly, I might rather have it on Calyrex than Darkrai. I do like Life Orb Calyrex. But the thing is, Calyrex needs to... Well, I guess in situations where I'm just faster than the opponent, Calyrex can set Gravity and Dark Void, and a lot of the time, Calyrex will get through that turn. In situations where I'm not just strictly faster than the opponent, then... I don't know. Maybe I should run like Covert Cloak Darkrai. And just accept that sometimes it's going to be one-shot if I don't position it right. Or I could run Life Orb Calyrex, I don't know. My gut's saying this. My gut's saying I don't want it to be possible for Calyrex to be one-shot, so that's what I'll do. Gravity, Astral Barrage, but I could be wrong. It might be better to have the Sash on Darkrai. Gravity, Astral Barrage, Psychic, Protect. Pretty typical Shadow Rider Calyrex. I run often, except with Gravity instead of Nasty Plot. Whimsicott. Probably want Encore. I could do like Light Screen, but I think Encore is fine. Oh, if the... Wait. Then this wants the Covert Cloak. Probably wants Terra Dark. Maybe Steel. Yeah, this definitely wants the Covert Cloak. Darkrai is running out of item ideas. Alright, I can do Focus Sash Darkrai and Life Orb Calyrex and see how I feel about that in some actual games. Farigiraf. Usually I run an Electric Seed on it if I'm running it with Miraidon, but I'm not running it with Miraidon right now. Also, Terra Water is usually for Ice Rider Calyrex. I don't know that my team is that afraid of Ice Rider Calyrex. I guess in Trick Room it is. It might be worth it. It might be worth Terra Water anyway. Probably just want your basic Helping Hand, Foul Play, Psychic, and Trick Room. I'm gonna have to think about the bulk when I don't have an Electric Seed. Yeah, what other item do people run on for... You know, I'm actually going to go to Munch Stats. I don't know what else people are running on Farigiraf at this point. I don't want to run Throat Spray. I mean, I could. I could run Psychic Noise instead of Psychic and get Throat Spray on there, but there's probably a better idea. Citrus Berry is the next most common. I think that works. Obviously, it can't activate in front of horses, but there's not always a horse on the field. I could do Safety Goggles. How do I beat it? How's my Mungus matchup? Not amazing. I could do Safety Goggles. I'm gonna start with Citrus Berry though. Maybe the recovery makes up for not having an Electric Seed boost. Raging Bolt, I probably want a defensive Terra type if I'm running Calm Mind, so I'll go Terra Fairy, Thunderclap. And then I have a problem, right? Because I have 2 move slots left for Thunderbolt, Dragon Pulse, and Protect. Calm Mind Raging Bolt was very common in Reg F. I think Thunderbolt was what people dropped. There are enough fairy types running around in this format that I'm not sure I love that. Honestly, what relevant ground type is there except Landorus? I saw a ground Arceus once on the ladder. But I think I might just accept that this Raging Bolt loses to Landorus and just do Thunderclap, Thunderbolt, Protect. No coverage. Again, it's something I can revisit if I want leftovers for Calm Mind setup. I could do Magnet. I don't know. I like passive recovery on setup Pokemon. And then I'll just do a Choice Scarf for Epistrike or Shifu, I think. And that leaves Darkrai's moves to figure out. I did end up getting a Fighting type on the team, but only one, but also a Fairy type. Not too afraid of other Dark types. If I see like Smeargle or some other Wide Guard Pokemon, I can maybe Taunt. I think Taunt is speaking to me. There's always Focus Blast, but you know. I actually think Hypnosis makes a lot of sense. As silly as that feels, Dark Void and Hypnosis, I actually think it makes a lot of sense. But I'm going to start with Taunt. And again, we'll see how I feel. This definitely is a team where I might make where I can see myself maybe making some adjustments as we go. But that's the basic skeleton, and I'll fill in the rest, and we'll see what happens on the ladder. Oh, Ursaluna is a relevant ground type. And with that in mind, I'm not sure that I'm sold on this Raging Bolt, actually. Yeah. Because I have to worry about an opponent's Trick Room to an extent. What I do if there's like an Ursaluna running around. Honestly, Incineroar might just be better. Intimidate it and stuff. Ursaluna, Ice Rider, Calyrex, what beats those? Well, not much. That's why they're so good. I don't really know how Raging Bolt got here, actually. You know what? I'm just gonna keep it, and if I run into Trick Room, I hopefully Dark Void through it. Yeah, well, I'm not sold at all on the Raging Bolt, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I don't think there's much more to say here. It's Darkrai. I don't really know how Raging Bolt got here, but we'll see how things go. Let's put some opponents to sleep. If anybody's playing the ladder right now. There we go. Oh, a Pincurchin. That's fun. Okay, so it's Magearna Trick Room. They have 2 terrain setters, unless this is Lightning Rod Pincurchin. It actually might be to protect Volcanion from electric attacks. You know what? That's actually my working theory right now. It's Magearna Volcanion Trick Room. And because Volcanion is only weak to, what, electric and ground? They have Lightning Rod Pincurchin, and the reason they're using that as their Lightning Rod Pokemon is that it's very slow, so it plays nicely in Trick Room. Do you think it has Acupressure, too? We can only hope. Alright, what did I say is my plan for Annihilate? Does anyone remember? Oh yeah, Terra Ghost Darkrai with Calyrex. Gravity Dark Void. Okay. I'll bring... Wait, this is actually tough, right? I think it's Lightning Rod Pincurchin, and it's definitely Water Absorbed Volcanion, because that's all it gets. So which of these do I bring? Or do I bring Whimsicott and Farigiraf? Surely I don't bring Whimsicott and Farigiraf, right? I'm not sure I bring Whimsicott at all. Their team is very slow. Both their restricteds resist the Moonblast. Encore might still be valuable, actually. It might. But again, I think Psychic is their only terrain. I'm just going to bring both of these. Oh, what did I do? I misclicked. I don't even know what Pokemon I have in the back. Hang on. Raging Bolt, Whimsicott. Okay, I meant to bring Raging Bolt and Urshifu, but we'll see if the Encore can do anything outside of Psychic terrain. I don't need to Terra Ghost because they didn't need Annihilate, so it's just Dark Void and Gravity here. Obviously, we're gambling, but it's Darkrai. I guess once Gravity is up, I can scroll over and find out what the actual accuracy is on Dark Void under Gravity. I don't know Gravity numbers at all. I don't actually know mathematically what it does. I just know makes things more likely to hit. Okay, we got the sleep into we miss Indeedee, but we get the sleep into Magearna, so that's more valuable for sure. 1.67 boost, so it's 83% accurate. Not bad. If Indeedee is going to click Follow Me, I think I'm down to just Dark Pulse it. And, I mean, I guess I'll Psychic it as well. Oh, is it going for Trick Room? Well, we won't get to find out. That does give a Soul Heart boost to Magearna. Thankfully, Magearna stays asleep this turn. Who's coming in? Single Strike or Shifu. Okay. That's tough to deal with for sure. It's probably... I could taunt Magearna, but it's probably worth just clicking Dark Void again. And Astral Brush. Right? Maybe get the Urshifu asleep. Oh, they tried to Sucker Punch in their own Psychic terrain, but yeah, obviously that doesn't work. Astral Brush doesn't knock anything out. I got the Dark Void into Urshifu. I'm guessing Magearna stayed asleep because it looks like they forfeited. Yeah. Alright, so that's a good start with a fair bit of luck piled on top, but obviously gravity stacks the deck in my favor a little bit when I'm clicking Dark Void. More than a little bit. 50 up to 83 is a pretty significant accuracy boost. Terapagos, Zacian, Rillaboom. I never saw the Pincurchin in that game. I think it was Lightning Rod Pincurchin to protect the Volcanion and be slow under Trick Room. But I wonder then what else it did. Pincurchin's move pool is not good. Anyway, Terapagos, Zacian, Rillaboom, Chi-Yu, Smeargle, and Urshifu. So they could have Wide Guard on the Smeargle. They probably have a Fake Out. If I Terra Ghost the Darkrai, then Chi-Yu is a threat. It could be Scarf Chi-Yu as well. This actually looks like a tough matchup. I think I'm gonna do Calyrex, Whimsicott, Darkrai in the back, and Urshifu to help cover the Terapagos. I mean, this is what I kind of figured was the basic mode for this team, right? That 4. Actually, I mean, Farigiraf can stop Sucker Punches and Fake Outs, so that might be worth it. I just think I want Urshifu to beat the Terapagos, so Farigiraf is worth considering here. Honestly, I could bring Farigiraf instead of Darkrai. But I'm just going to stick to what I said first. I think Farigiraf instead of Darkrai might be the better call here, though. Okay. I'm just going to go for it, but this might be a bad idea. I might just lose both my Pokemon turn 1. We'll see what happens. Actually, I think I should protect Calyrex this turn, but I will go for Tailwind. If they knock out Whimsicott, which I think they will. Oh, I didn't expect that. Then I can get Calyrex and Urshifu together, or Calyrex and Darkrai. Calyrex and Darkrai would be a strong duo here. They didn't damage Whimsicott at all. Calyrex is really badly positioned, though. I'm going to switch to Urshifu. And I think I'm just going to throw a Moonblast at Terapagos, looking to break the Terra Shell. Just 20%, not bad. Chi-Yu is, I'm guessing, choice locked into that Dark Pulse. I could Encore the Terapagos. I'm not sure I want to. I think it's okay, actually, because what's coming in on this Surging Strikes? I guess Rillaboom if they have it. Rillaboom comes in on that slot. Okay, well, okay, Chi-Yu here. I Terra just to hit whatever. I thought the Chi-Yu might switch out. I just Terra'd to hit whatever was coming in as hard as I could. It might prove to be a bad use of my Terra. Especially with this being here. I can Fake Out Urshifu. Calyrex I think is not that. I have to beat the Rillaboom somehow though. Not that valuable is what I was going to say. I have to beat the Rillaboom somehow. Well, let's see. Grassy Glide, the Calyrex, what does Zacian do? Probably knock out Whimsicott? Yeah. They don't want me to get another Tailwind. They do deny it. Okay, well, Calyrex is not quite in Grassy Glide range, although it's too close for comfort. I suppose I'll go Darkrai here. Oh, Zacian's going to be faster than Darkrai. But Darkrai has the Focus Sash. They could double into Darkrai. I think I just lose if they do that. But I don't know if they will. I think they should. So how do I beat a team like this? Yeah, I think they're going for it. Yeah. Oh, they want Sacred Sword, actually. I guess I don't have my Terra available anymore, so why not? If I could Terra Ghost the Darkrai there, then they probably just click Behemoth Blade instead. How do I beat a team like this? Maybe I do need like a Volcarona in this slot. I think that would go a long way here. Well, I don't know. Or I just needed to play the Calyrex more aggressively. I don't know. The Chi-Yu and Terrapagos put a lot of pressure on it in the early game. Alright, on to the next one. Chien-Pao. Some sort of Urshifu. Ice Rider, Calyrex, Indeedee, Kyogre, and Whimsicott. Can I just Gravity Dark Void this? Probably. Chien-Pao is kind of threatening, but I think I can do it anyway. Bring these four. Maybe I want Farigiraf here, actually. Okay, Rapid Strike or Shifu makes sense on this Kyogre team with Whimsicott. So they can Tailwind. They can Tailwind Surging Strikes, prevent the Dark Void. With that in mind, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this and just look to get rid of their Urshifu. Terra Water. That'll KO Whimsicott. No, just misses the KO. We get rid of their Urshifu. I might get a chance to get my Tailwind up. Maybe. Probably. Here's Chien-Pao. Yeah. I mean, if they have Ice Shard, they can deny my Tailwind, but obviously Sucker Punch won't do it because Sucker Punch doesn't work in a Tailwind. Tailwind is not an attack. I'm going to Terra Dark and Astral Barrage. At +1, I should get a lot of damage, even into this resistance. They do have Ice Shard. That's wild. Okay. Also, they might have Encore. Oh no, they just Light Screen. Well, they might have Encore, but they don't use it here. They did have Ice Shard. Wow, okay. Oh, they can't Encore me because I'm a Dark type, right. Urshifu, they could Moonblast Urshifu. They could also Moonblast Calyrex. They could also Moonblast Darkrai if I go to that. Okay. Urshifu it is. Let's lock into Surging. I'll actually just protect Calyrex this turn. No, I don't like that. I need... Do I like that? I feel like I need damage. I don't know. Calyrex seems like the more obvious target for them because it's threatening so much. I think if they're going to Moonblast something, it's probably Calyrex. And maybe if I get this call wrong, I can still win with Darkrai. So I'm going to... yeah, I'll protect. Let's see. I feel like I'm just guessing a lot so far this video. Which is not usually the best way to play, is it? Ice Spinner into Calyrex, Moonblast into Urshifu, but Urshifu survives. And here's Kyogre. If I switch Calyrex out to Darkrai here, they might take 2 KOs. I don't think that works. I think they might just get me with this last turn of Tailwind. I could go for a double protect. I don't get it. Yeah, okay, I lose. I just didn't see a way around that last turn of Tailwind. I was thinking about sacking Darkrai to preserve Calyrex, but then Calyrex comes in unboosted, Kyogre's still at full. I don't think it ever wins that. Wanna gamble? Let's gamble. We get the Dark Void into Kyogre, but we miss the Chien-Pao, so Chien-Pao just wins with Ice Shard now. Unfortunate. If I'd hit both, then I'd still be in this. Oh well. On to the next. Magearna, Kyogre, Tornadus, Landorus, Urshifu for Rigorath. I'm gonna do Whimsicott or Urshifu here. I could Surging Strike Magearna or Landorus or even Kyogre for a lot of damage and weakening their Water Spout, and then I'll bring my Restricteds in the back. It's Rapid Strike or Urshifu on their side and Tornadus. I am down to just Tailwind, Terra Water, Surging Strike, Tornadus. I'm just trying to aggressively prevent them from getting a speed control advantage for the rest of the game. They didn't Tailwind. Did they go for Bleak Wind Storm? But now I just have Tailwind and they don't. Which is, you know, about as good as it gets here. Let's Moonblast Ursh and Surging Kyogre. Like I said, it's still going to do significant damage even though it's resisted. That just drops. I don't know why they didn't Tailwind that turn. I guess they saw two flying weaknesses and thought they could get me. Here's Landorus. We don't even go for the gravity setup here. It's just Astral Barrage. I'll even Fake Tears this. No, didn't get Darkrai onto the field, but that one went pretty smoothly. I thought I was going to have to play around. I thought we were both going to set Tailwind turn 1 and then probably never again in that game, and I was going to have to play around a much more even speed control game. That's the importance of speed control highlighted right there. Kyogre. Lots of Kyogre today. Kyogre, Urshifu, Shadow Rider, Calyrex, Indeedee, Amoonguss, Roaring Moon. They can set Tailwind, but they don't have priority on it. But Roaring Moon, assuming it's speed booster energy, will go before any of my stuff. Anyway, except Whimsicott. I could do Whims Ursh into this too. The Amoonguss is a problem for that, but I mean, it's good into like anything else they throw at me. I'm gonna bring the same mode as last game. Roaring Moon, Kyogre, okay. I'll get my Tailwind here, guaranteed. I think I'm gonna Surging Strike Kyogre. I'm not going to Terra this time. I might need it on Calyrex, but I think I'm going to Surging Strike Kyogre. I could Surging Strike Roaring Moon, anticipating like a Terra Flying, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. And again, weakening Water Spout is, I think, almost always valuable. They just go straight for Acrobatics into Whimsicott with no Terra. Actually, this is a bit awkward because I'm gonna go this because I'm locked into Surging Strikes. I would like to be able to just close combat this, but and still have a shot at denying their Tailwind. Maybe I'll get 2 this turn. I think I'm just gonna I think I'm just gonna see if I can pivot Darkrai in, actually. They might not let me get away with this. They set their Tailwind. Okay, Roaring Moon will now go before anything on my side, but I'm going to Terra Dark, Gravity. I have the Sash on Darkrai, Dark Void. Their Tailwind is also offset from mine. They have Taunt, okay. Alright, so the Gravity is just useless, pretty much. That Roaring Moon is a menace. Can I at least remove Kyogre? They didn't take the KO on Calyrex there, so actually we'll get some damage off here. Not enough, though. They have Tailwind, I don't. Darkrai's taunted. I'm stuck with Urshifu with no protect as a choice scarf. Maybe I shouldn't just spam scarf every single time I use Urshifu. It just feels like the best set to me, but it's a flexible enough Pokemon. I should probably be doing more than one thing with it. This has been rough. I must have made a bad Darkrai team. I mean, I guess I'm not shocked. Farigiraf has not really done anything so far. I mean, it's a good Pokemon. I just haven't found a matchup where I really want to bring it more than anything else here. I don't even understand how I ended up putting Raging Bolt on the team. I think if you go back and look at that, the thought process will still not be clear. But I definitely thought that this 4 would do more than it has done. Honestly, the Iron Hands direction might have been better. I'm gonna get another one. I just kind of feel like the job's not done with this team. I don't know. For all that I see, for how much I see Darkrai on the ladder, I've been really not impressed with what I've done with it in this video. I think I want to see. I think I want to see another Darkrai team on this ladder and take a look at how it's built. Look at that Metagross hiding behind Tinkaton's hammer. Can I play until I see a Darkrai team? This is Mono Steel, by the way. Took me a second to notice. Can I play until I see another Darkrai team? The problem is that's completely outside of my control. But usually they're everywhere. Why? I don't know why I'm not seeing them. Mono Steel, and they have Wide Guard. I don't know if I can bring Darkrai to this one. But I'll try it anyway. I'm actually going to leave the Whims behind. Maybe I shouldn't, because they probably have Tailwind. But I'm going to. Okay, I think I'm good here to Terra Ghost, Taunt Corviknight, and Psychic Zamazenta. I'm looking to deny their Tailwind first. I would like to taunt Zamazenta. I don't need to. Another Psychic KOs. Okay. Oh, they went for Bulk Up, actually. I'll click Dark Void here. I'll take the 50-50 if they don't Wide Guard. They might not, because Zamazenta's in danger. They do Wide Guard. Okay. We KO Zamazenta. Yeah, the Wide Guard still works after it faints, so that stops the Dark Void. Brave Bird, unboosted, does a little bit less than half to Darkrai, which I'm sure is not what they want to see. I don't think Metagross gets Wide Guard. It looks like it could, just with that body shape. I could have Bullet Punch, actually, but I'll go for Gravity Dark Void and we'll see what happens. Terra Dragon Metagross. Both their Pokemon fall asleep. Dark Pulse and Astral Barrage here. I guess I shouldn't be Dark Pulsing because I'm denying Calyrex a chance to get a boost on the next turn, but I don't know. Taking KOs is good. I'll say one thing for this team. Maybe my perception's a little bit warped because it feels like the wins are very quick and the losses are drawn out a little bit more. So I have felt throughout this video like I'm mostly just losing, but I don't think that's exactly right. And I think I've been losing more than I'd like. This person has Diancie, Lunala, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Heatran, and Raging Bolt. I am just throwing the normal procedure here out the window and hoping to run into another Darkrai so I can see how someone else built it before the video's over, but I don't know, I'll give that up at some point. At least Darkrai puts pressure on Lunala, sort of. Terra Fairy Lunala can be an issue. Well, let's try. Once again, they don't have Tailwind. I'm going to drop the Whimsicott. Or they might have Tailwind. I think Lunala gets it, but they probably don't. I'm going to drop the Whimsicott for just maximum offense. And this lead doesn't seem threatening at all to Darkrai, does it? So I can Gravity Dark Void here. I mean, if I missed a Dark Void into Diancie, that could maybe get threatening. They protect. Okay. I can just go for it again, I think, and Astral Barrage. But yeah, they let me put a lot of pressure on them from the lead position. I was expecting to see like Rillaboom or something, Lunala. You know, something that could make it a little bit harder for me to just click buttons. They go Single Strike or Shifu, I get a Dark Void into that. And since it just switched in, it's guaranteed to stay asleep on the next turn, so I don't have to worry about Sucker Punch. I'm down to just keep clicking Dark Void and Astral Brush. That's honestly probably the best way to play this, just to cover switches. Which is, you know, I'm not really a format complainer in Pokemon most of the time. Most of the time, I'm fine with broken stuff. I'm fine with weird stuff. I don't have any issue with, like, Sneasler or Shifu or any of those discourses. But honestly, the way I'm playing Darkrai right now feels kind of gross. it does. I'm going to Terra Dark. And actually, let's just Dark Pulse and Psychic Lunala. Let's just go for a KO instead of a Taunt now that I have Calyrex it. The problem is Calyrex is faster than Darkrai. What I would like to do is, you know, break the Shadow Shield with Dark Pulse and then KO with Psychic if they Terra. Well, I guess if I'm covering for a Terra, then I don't know. Maybe this works anyway. Psychic should still hit very hard into the Shadow Shield. They do Terra. Yeah, I figured they would. They Wide Guard. Okay, they're not going to get KO'd. But it's damage. They get Trick Room. Okay. Oh, I guess I could have taunted Diancie there. This game might not be over yet. I have these two against two fairies. Let's see what they go for. Yeah, Darkrai is kind of a crazy Pokemon. I mean, you know, in the end, I'm all for it. I'm good with some crazy Pokemon existing, but I do feel a little bit gross the way I played the first few turns of this game. Diamond Storm. Okay. Meteor Beam. Wow, I could have gotten Urshifu in this turn. Although, I guess, what would I do after that? Yeah, they have a Moonblast into something if they want it. But if they're not Wide Guarding, then I can Dark Void. It's only a 50% chance to hit, but I can try. Okay, they KO Calyrex. Do I get a Dark Void into anything? Nope, I missed both. Alright, I'll go Raging Bolt here. Protect, protect. I think if I get Urshifu in outside of Trick Room, I'm probably okay. Maybe. I don't know. Wide Guard. Body Press. Okay. Yeah, I think then... I think it's best here that I let Darkrai go down. I'll try to taunt Diancie, but they won't let me. And I'll just Thunderclap Lunala. It'd be nice if it KOs. Didn't think it would. Don't love that that KO'd. But the Diancie has not shown... Well, it definitely doesn't have a Fairy-type attack. So I can Surging Strike Lunala here. Not get one-shot by Diancie. Not even get two-shot by Diancie. Alright, we should be fine. It survives this. But Body Press doesn't KO back. Yeah. Okay. That one got a little bit shaky once they set Trick Room up, but it was still fine in the end. I still want to see a Darkrai, you know, on the other side of the field. I want Darkrai versus Darkrai. It might just not be happening today. This restricted duo is Arceus and Volcanion. With Rillaboom, Tinglu, Urshifu, and Landorus. This might be a Farigiraf game. Okay, Darkrai, Calyrex, Farigiraf. Ursh, I guess? Raging Bolt is so bad into half of this team. Okay. Ursh is obviously not great into Volcanion, but I can still close combat it. Actually, they're only fighting resist before Terra is this guy, so close combat might be spammable here. Of course, Rillaboom can pressure, but anyway. Single Striker Shifu. Okay, not ideal, but once again, they don't lead with their Fake Out or their Extreme Speed or any of that. So I think I can just Dark Void, Terra Dark, Gravity. Might not even need to Terra. It's not like they can Sucker Punch me this turn. But I'll just do it. They went for Sucker Punch. Yeah, I didn't need the Terra Dark there. I'm going to switch to my Urshifu here because I want to be able to pressure this. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, I think to some extent I was just feeling bad about... I mean, this is definitely not the best version of a Darkrai team. This is somebody's first attempt when he's not really... We'll talk about this opponent in a second. This is somebody's first attempt when he's not really familiar with Darkrai teams, just has run into them on the ladder occasionally. But I think part of why I was feeling bad about the team earlier is that so many of its wins are just so very short that they barely feel like they happened. Alright, this is somebody trying to be Wolf Glick with a mono-normal team, but they've got Arceus. They get a second restricted Pokemon, I guess, and it can be mythical, so they got Arceus here. Also, I think the Wolf team had Blood Moon Ursaluna, right? Arceus, Terrapagos, Fletchling, Ditto, Ursaluna, Smeargle. It is tricky. The Ditto actually could be a real problem. But... you know, I'll make them prove that they can beat this. I might want to bring Frigga after this one. Foul play into Arceus or Ursaluna. Stop a Fake Out or even a Brave Bird. I think it's better than... I think it might be better than Raging Bolt here. I'll leave Whimsicott behind. I feel like I'm doing that a lot in the late stretch of this video. Maybe Tailwind is not as important to a Darkrai team as I felt like it was. I just get more scared at preview when I see a Darkrai team that has Tailwind on it because I can't beat it with... I can't as reliably beat it by outspeeding. They can Tailwind here, but I don't think they have... unless it could be Taunt Fletchling, but then it will be slower than these guys, right? It doesn't get priority on Taunt. So I don't think they have anything to stop Gravity Dark Void here. Oh. Okay. Whoops. Forgot I can run that. Okay, I'm in danger. Honestly, I think the 50-50 with Dark Void is just worth continuing to click here. Let's break Fletchling's priority as well. Oh, right, they can just do that into my Psychic type. They still have the priority Brave Bird online now. Alright, that was not a good game for me. By me, I would say I played this one poorly. Well. Well, what can you do? Like, oh, okay. Well, avoided a close combat there. That's something. Got crit by the Air Slash. This Fletchling just an absolute menace. Oh, and I've made myself weak to Terrapagos Dark Pulse now. But I can click Dark Void again, and this doesn't have priority Tailwind anymore. It's still possible. No, we missed both. I'm also weak to Terra Starstorm, that's true. Can I get their Tailwind back? Alright. Maybe I should end it on that one. I just really want to see Darkrai versus Darkrai. You know? Just really want to see Darkrai versus Darkrai. Yeah, Dark Void is just gambling if you don't get Gravity. Honestly, maybe Sableye is the better version of Gravity because it's just probably more reliable about setting it up. Maybe I'll have to try a Sableye team after this. There's no Darkrai! Somebody please bring a Darkrai! There's another Chiyu. That's a menace. Try this. Tailwind Surgical Strikes. Trying to get this Chiyu out of here. They gonna let me get away with that? Who knows? Well, they're gonna let me get away with that. We'll see if it's worth it. Behemoth Blade into Whims. Okay, that's good, I think, because I get my two strongest offensive Pokemon next to each other now. They can set Tailwind, but Zacian will still be slower than both of my guys. Might as well turn off the flying weakness. Yeah, and that'll set up an Astral Barrage KO and a Grimnay boost. And their last Pokemon is probably Calyrex. I have gotten rid of my Terra Dark option, so it's just a speed tie probably between our Calyrex, but then Urshifu with the Scarf will go first and get that boosted Surging Strike damage, so it's probably fine. Astral Surging. They still have their Terra, right? Well, I don't think they can beat this anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have an out that I don't see. And thanks to the magic of Urshifu, they can't even protect through my Tailwind. Yeah. Somebody please bring a Darkrai against me. Double bikes, okay. They're both faster than Darkrai, so that's not great. Although this looks like a Trick Room team apart from the bikes, so I don't know what the deal is with that. Also, they probably have Wide Guard on Armarouge. Like, if I go for Tailwind to outspeed these two, they can definitely punish that. I might be better off... Also, they have a lot of Shadow Rider Calyrex answers, so this is just a weird matchup. I want to outspeed with Shadow Rider, but they also can set Sun and weaken my Urshifu. Maybe this... I was going to say, maybe this is the fabled Calm Mind Raging Bolt game, but then they even have Ting Lu for that. I think I have to go for it, though. I think I have to do, like... Whimsicott? No. Maybe. I'm going to do Darkrai Raging Bolt. Looking to use Darkrai to support the Raging Bolt setup. I'll bring Urshifu. It's my best Ting Lu answer, and I guess I'll just bring Calyrex because it's my other restricted Pokemon. I don't know. Calyrex is really bad under their team. Maybe I want Furgraf. I'll bring Calyrex because it's my other restricted Pokemon. I don't know. This looks like a bad matchup, I would say. They lead Indigo and Purple. Okay. I'm down to... Just click Dark Void. I could taunt the Oranguru. I'm down to... It's a Darkrai video. Let's gamble. Just click Dark Void, Terra Fairy, Calm Mind. Protect Oranguru. We miss Dark Void into Miraidon. They Dazzling Gleam back, but I Terrestrialized Raging Bolt. Darkrai confirmed faster than Miraidon here, so I'll get another shot at this Dark Void if I want. I could switch out. I'll get another shot at this Dark Void. Calm Mind. Terra Grass or Oranguru. I miss Dark Void into both targets. That's happening a lot when I don't have Gravity up. It is supposed to be a 50-50. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like a 50-50. It feels like I just need Gravity to land a Dark Void. Period. But that'll like... Also, the Miraidon is not choiced. I guess it had an Electric Seed all along, and I should have realized that. And they just completely blow me up in Trick Room. Yeah. The only way out of this is a million protects, and even then, I have no damage on Miraidon, so what do I even do? I could Thunderclap it. That's going to do very little, though. Well, I guess the question is, if I Thunderclap into double protect on Calyrex or something like that, is that enough to KO with Astral Brush? I doubt it. Probably a bulky Miraidon too, considering how slow it is. Oh, they went Dazzling Gleam though, so they didn't... Oh, they instructed Dazzling Gleam and then went Electro Drift. Right, that's how Oranguru works. Alright, so Urshifu will just get knocked out here. I guess I'll Aqua Jet chip Miraidon. Right? Get whatever damage I can in the hope that an Astral Barrage crit wins the game or something. But I also need a double protect on Calyrex for any of that to work, and then they have all their other Pokemon in the back. Well, two other Pokemon. And they have Armarouge, Farigiraf, and Tinglu, so it's about as bad a matchup as a Shadow Rider Calyrex can get. We actually crit the Aqua Jet. We've got a fair bit of chip on the Miraidon here, but it's not going to matter as Electro Drift will not quite KO my Calyrex. Hold on. I guess they traded off some special attack for bulk. Oh, I almost chipped it enough. Wow. But I also forgot I'm running Life Orb Calyrex. Never had enough HP to break through. Cool team. Alright. I'm at almost 40 minutes of battles. I'm going to arbitrarily say 40 minutes is the cutoff. One more game. Somebody please bring a Darkrai against me. I want to see a Darkrai. There's no Darkrai. There's no Darkrai anywhere. The rest of the ladder figured out just today that Darkrai is gambling, and they got tired of it. They also have a Shadow Rider Calyrex and 3 Dark types, and a normal type. Why am I hitting all the worst matchups for Shadow Rider? I mean, I guess that's the meta adjusting to Shadow Rider Darkrai, right? That probably is why I'm hitting all the worst matchups to it. The wheel probably gave me Darkrai just a little bit too late. Or I'm just tilted. Let's see. This is last game. I give up on finding a Darkrai. I might try a Sableye Darkrai team in another video. And get another shot that way. But for now, just gonna Tailwind. Terra Water. Not Terra Water. Preserve the Terra. Fine. They let me have their Chi-Yu. Aggressively removing Chi-Yu when I see it is working out at least. The Astral, so it's good that I didn't Terra Water, because that was KOing anyway. I have Tailwind, they don't. Yeah, no Tauren here. Here we go. Terra Dark, Gravity, Dark Void. Check Tampao. I miss Dark Void into Calyrex, and that is... yeah, basically GG. Lol. Opponents lol, just click Astral. I mean, fair, but anyway. Alright, that's last game. That's enough of this. It honestly, I mean, this is a small snapshot of the ladder, but it honestly feels like the wheel gave me Darkrai just as the meta had adjusted to Darkrai. I don't know. I know I had some very quick wins that are affecting how I feel about this one, but this was... I thought Darkrai would be a bit smoother than this, to be honest. I also probably just made a bad team. Well, back to the wheel next time, and whatever's next is next.